Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to click on this video. My name is AwesomeGuy4000, and today we're going to be talking about the issue with Chapter 6. Now, before we get into that though, I am currently on a mission to get to 1,000 subscribers before August 7th, before Season 5 OG, because when the cube comes back and starts rolling around, I want to be able to get into a custom game to watch it alone, and the only way I can do that is to get a supporter credit code so I can have a custom game. And the only way to do that is to get 1,000 subscribers. So guys, if you want to help me relive my childhood, please hit the sub button. Help me get to 1,000 subs. We are like almost 80% of the way there, so I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Now let's get into this video. Now, Chapter 6, coming off of Chapter 2 Remix, which was a kind of mixed season. I think most people enjoy the actual gameplay but didn't like the collab part of it. But the main thing about Chapter 6 is that it came right after Chapter 5, which is like commonly accepted to be the worst chapter in Fortnite history. I'm sure there are some people that would argue that it's like the best, but I think most people do agree that it is the worst chapter, and for a lot of reasons. I might make a video about that later down the road, but it's a lot to unpack here, so I can't really go into everything about why Chapter 5 is the worst. But if you know, you know, and if you don't know, then you probably know why people think it is. So Fortnite is coming into Chapter 6 off of the worst chapter, Chapter 5. And to me, I am enjoying it a lot, and I think a lot of other people are. Chapter 6 Season 1 was very highly enjoyed. People love the theme, the Godzilla thing, the loot pool was great, the map was beautiful. And I had to agree, Chapter 6 Season 1 was like a massive breath of fresh air compared to Chapter 5. Chapter 6 was just everything I wanted Fortnite Chapter 5 to be, and they honestly did it perfect. They had so many like mid-game things you could do. The Night Shift Forest was like one of the most memorable Fortnite POIs I think ever. It might even actually beat out Reality Falls for me. I actually really did enjoy Night Shift Forest. You had that vault too you could go in. And then we have Chapter 6 Season 2, the Lawless season, which kind of took like a completely opposite theme, which is like crime, yeah, crime. Like crime, gold, and greed was the main theme of that season. And with it, we got Fletcher Kane, we got Midas coming back, we got these black markups, it's all these stuff you could buy with gold, and all these mythics coming back. And it was overall a very chaotic season. We got a bunch of new exotics. The loot pool gun-wise was very diverse, unique, a lot of different playstyles people could use. Overall a fun season. I think people thought it was a little bit worse than Chapter 6 Season 1, but overall was barely worse. So people still really enjoyed Chapter 6 Season 2. I know I did. For me personally, it is above Season 1. Had a lot of fun during that. And then I'm just gonna skip right over the Star Wars season because I don't just not talk about that. And then the current season, Chapter 6 Season 3, which is honestly about to be one of my favorite seasons in general, and then also just Chapter 6. So this season so far has been amazing. But let's talk about what these seasons entail and why they're so good now. Why so many people enjoy this chapter, enjoy these seasons, and there's actually a reason. Here's the thing. Every single Chapter 6 season so far has been playing it safe, even the Star Wars season. It does just make sense that after Chapter 5, Chapter 6 would have to be played safe to ensure the survivability of the game, that people kept playing the game, kept enjoying it. Because if there was 2 chapters that were terrible in a row, that would turn off a lot of people from the game. Because I think Chapter 6 was like the last hope for people, and if it was bad, they're putting the nail in the coffin, you know? Chapter 6, thankfully, did turn out to be great so far, but that is actually only because they're reusing previous themes from other seasons that were actually considered the best seasons of all time. For example, Chapter 6 Season 1, the theme is definitely copying Chapter 4 Season 2, Mega. Now, not to say that all of these seasons are like exactly the same, they're not. I'm just saying they're copying themes which make people more likely to go and play this season because they've seen it before and liked that theme before. Personally, I think all these seasons are still very diverse and unique and add something new, but they are reusing previous themes that make people want to come back because they liked that theme before. Chapter 6 Season 2, 100% a copy of either Chapter 4 Season 4 or Chapter 2 Season 2. 2 pretty successful seasons, a very successful season for one of them. Personally, I just gotta say that Chapter 6 Season 2, I think is the best version of the heist theme. I think it is, I really do. And Star Wars, we've seen Star Wars throughout like basically the entire history of Fortnite. There's always been some kind of Star Wars stuff going on, so they played it safe with that for the first mini season. And then now with the superhero season, thankfully, they're not doing another collab season. Seems like in the future they're going to keep collab seasons for the mini seasons now. We actually got our first original superhero season since Chapter 1 Season 3, which doesn't really count, but that was considered to be a good season. Chapter 2 Season 4, the Marvel season was considered to be a good season, and some people thought that the Doom season was pretty good too, but I think that was less so, but still it performed good, better than Rex probably. So basically, Fortnite is not doing anything new with their themes. And if you don't want to be spoiled for the storyline or anything else, I'm gonna say the next season's theme. So if you don't want to hear that, here's your cue to either leave the video or just hear what it is if you want to hear it. The next theme is speculated by leakers to be an invasion theme. and that is actually literally what the name of a theme was in Chapter 2, Season 7, the invasion season, the alien invasion, and it seemed like we might get like another invasion, and then that will probably be the last season of Chapter 6. So that would make every single Chapter 6 season a reuse of a previous theme. Now that does set up a lot of potential for Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is probably looking to be one of the most like unique chapters of all time. Because what themes have Fortnite like honestly not done yet? Like they've basically done like mostly everything, and if they did anything new, it would have to be like very unique, very creative. And I'm honestly hyped for that, because for Chapter 6, guys, they had to play it safe. They had to. If they kept making stuff that people did not like, the company was going to go down, okay? Now that the game is in such a good spot again, and Chapter 6 is great, despite them reusing themes, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do in the future with Chapter 7. I'm going to say another leaked theme for a possible Chapter 7 season, so if you don't want to hear that either, please click off, or just if you want to hear it, keep watching. Apparently, something about Chapter 7 is going to be Norse mythology themed, which sounds very interesting. I actually am kind of hyped for that. So yeah, basically, is them reusing themes for Chapter 6, them playing it safe? Yes, they're 100% playing it safe with Chapter 6. Is it working though? Is the game still fun? Yes. The feedback for Chapter 6 is like kind of overwhelmingly positive. It's really good. I think the only complaint people have is that they want more unique themes, and I think Chapter 7 is going to give us that. We just got to get out of the rut that Chapter 5 was, okay? That's what Chapter 6 is. Chapter 6 is Fortnite getting up out of the rut that Chapter 5 was. And then Chapter 7, I think Chapter 7 gonna be peak. It's gonna be better than Chapter 6 for sure. But yeah, guys, that's all I gotta say. This is why Chapter 6 is succeeding so much. We're reusing themes, but that's fine. As long as the game is fun, you know, they can reuse all the themes they want. And I'm honestly very excited for the invasion theme. I love that kind of stuff, and I'm hoping the last reality will come back. And yeah, peace out. If you haven't subbed, please sub up, help me get to my goal of 1,000, and see you later.